The zygomaticus major muscles that curl the lip up fires concomitantly with the orbicularis oculi, pars lateralis, curling up the skin around the eyes. Their eyes and pupils start to dilate, which means they're either really happy to see us or they're just high, they smoked, that's okay. And instantly, we reflexively mimic the same facial expression. Our orbital frontal cortex, which is the center of our brain that upregulates in feelings of happiness, well-being, joy, instantly activates, turns on, and we feel better. So how we show up based on our clients' mirror neurons, that is profound. And then the next one is behaviors. We're not trained to sit on a couch and talk to them about their beliefs and their values for 6 years. That's the realm of psychotherapy. But I was having a conversation with world-class neuroscientist, Dr. Roy Sugarman. He said, you know what, Bobby? I'm envious of what all of you guys do, because there's more information coming out that if you want to change someone's life, you want to change where they work, what type of family the experience they have, their level of happiness, fulfillment, and effectiveness at any level, you need to change their emotional state, because emotions are the precursors to thoughts and behaviors. And he said the most effective way to change someone's state is changing their body. It's exercise, it's movement. It's things that are multi-sensory, multi-planar, and things that are fun. If we can incorporate fun in the experience in our facility the same way that an actor incorporates multi-sensory escapism into a theater performance. So if you could sit there and be as entertaining, engaging, invested with your client as Elphaba Throp is on the stage of Wicked, you can change their state instantly. But it comes down to behaviors. Because of cognitive dissonance, see, here's what we do. We try to get people to adapt to multiple behaviors straight away. If we could just take one simple thing, that behavior creates a performance that they are now motivated to remain consistent within. So they have to ask themselves, why did I behave that way? See, people have global beliefs. I always fail at exercise. Yet, they can't explain, okay, Mrs. Jones, you fail at everything related to exercise? Well, this is the third day in a row that you got here on time. Do you consider that a failure? Well, it's not technically a failure. Okay, so if it's not a failure, what is it? And if you fail at everything, how do you explain it? Do you see the difference there? When she has to come to her own conclusions rather than us imposing a conclusion on her. So when we open up the door to communication by simple rapport building and connection, and we can lower the level of activity in the amygdala and use questions, because questions upregulate the prefrontal lobes, and the left prefrontal lobe will not only make them feel safer with us, but it'll make them capable of planning, of rationalizing, and of taking a look at their irrational beliefs and their preconditioned failures and re-examining them. One question is, what is the most single important reason that change is a must? Once you do change, what will be different and how will you feel? If you don't change, what will be different? How will you feel? And we always ask this. It's a quantifier. On a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being non-negotiable, the consequences of not changing are so painful and the benefits of changing are so desirable, it's a 10. A 1 is I'm indifferent. Where are you? And when people say, well, I'm at a 5, trainers will usually go, well, all right, what's going to take to make it a 6? And that terrifies them, because that's our opinion. That's our imposition of a solution. Or how come you're not at an 8? Well, the second we say, how come you're not at an 8, or what would it take to make you an 8, they start inside their mind rationalizing all the reasons they're not at an 8. Does that make sense? So even though they understand, you're the expert, you know what you're talking about, the second we ask them a question like that, they now have to crystallize and reinforce the reasons why failure might be imminent, and failure is pain, and we're motivated to move away from pain. Where if they say, well, I'm at a 5, and you say, well, how come you didn't say a 1 or a 2? Do you see how they go in the other direction? They now have to rationalize all the reasons why they have the capacity at a certain level. And if they have the capacity at a certain level, it becomes more emotionally painful for them to detract that statement if they themselves said it, than just start to persist just a little bit further.